This is the Code to Cash podcast.
I've worked in enough companies, and large and small now, and seen the same problem. You've got systems being deployed without a lot of thought as to the people in the process that goes along with it. You just think you buy the system and everything, your world gets better. You've got, in some cases, multiple systems that don't talk to one another, and nobody's thinking about stitching the data together. Everybody thinks they can put everything they need into one system, one operational system, when that's just not the world we live in. You need to get the data that matters into a cloud-based architecture that you can then use for both data science. It's a middle layer, if you will, data science and operational views of countable data, dashboards, reports, and things of that nature. Curate it and then serve that up to the business, where those views are designed to support business processes around decision making and other sorts of things. Unless you can buy a piece of technology that out of the box solves your problem. You know, too many companies trying to make the software they've bought into something it's not to solve a problem it wasn't designed to solve. I've seen this play out a number of times, and they do two things. One is they customize it so much that they can no longer plug anything else into it like it was designed to. So they're throwing away all the R&D, those other companies that are building new widgets and stuff that'll make your life easier.
Right.
And they're removing the ability to ever get rid of that software.
Yeah.
They get stuck into it forever. And if a better mousetrap comes along, they'll never be able to unwind it because it's so customized that the whole business will break. So, but it's a challenge of, when I used to do customer analytics, I used to talk about becoming a customer intelligent organization. And the problem exists today. It exists when I was at Dell 20 years ago. When I was at Dell 20 years ago, the story was something like this. We had a big account at a Fortune 50 US company go sideways. Big deal. Big tens of millions of dollars renewal, right? It went sideways. Why? Because one of the decision makers, C-suite executive, had a daughter in college. The daughter in college bought a Dell notebook through the student buy program on the consumer side of the business and had a warranty issue with it. $2,000 laptop, $1,500, $1,000 of that, who knows? The support team that took care of it bungled it on the consumer side of the business. Daughter talks to father over the weekend. Sales team comes in to work the next bit of the deal, and the only thing they're talking about is this warranted laptop thing through the whole meeting, right? How easy would it have been even then? And I used to tell the story at Dell to the teams that could impact this. I said, how easy would it have been to flag that account as a household of an important C-suite executive decision maker on the B2B side to the sales, to the support team? Just say, they don't have to give all that information. They just build a process that says through their workflow, hey, treat this customer special, do whatever it takes to make them happy. They're important. Here, we'll get you a new laptop. And that whole conversation on Monday could have been totally different. But one side of the business wasn't talking to the other, and the systems had the data. We could back then. I've as recently as 2 or 3 years ago, I had that same I had the same conversation at Adobe, and a year ago I had the same conversation at my last company. Because we're not putting the data together. We've got people on one end and businesses on the other. And for businesses that have B2C and B2B relationships, they have two relationships with those people. One is the business relation, one is the consumer, but they're not talking to each other. So being customer intelligent, as I lean into revenue operations, it's the same problem all over again. How do we become revenue intelligent as an organization such that any decision that we hope to impact revenue generation, revenue velocity, what have you, is informed by anything the organization knows that would help them make that decision in an automated sort of way? Well, that means that your ERP, your accounting system has to talk to your Salesforce CRM, has to talk to your marketing bid. You have to have all that. You probably need all the data I talked about to have a holistic picture of the customer, right? What's the customer relationship? All those things matter. The transfer functions between the operational metric you're driving and revenue. how much is how much is one piece of thought leadership put out into the market through your thought leadership program worth on a revenue basis, and how long does it take to turn into revenue? That's what I mean by transfer function. When I pull on this lever, I put a person in a seat, $1 in the system, something. What do I get in the other end, and how long does it take to turn into revenue? That's what I think the promise of revenue operations is.